Before we begin, I need to make something perfectly clear. This is the foulest, most inappropriate joke I could have written. That says so much considering this is a To Catch a Predator joke. Great pains have been taken to ensure maximum inappropriateness is showcased. This is fair warning. Do not listen to this joke if you are offended by references to bodily fluids, inappropriate sex, and general depravity. This is a joke. As adults, we can choose to listen or not. I wrote this joke in its entirety. I deserve all of the blame. Many of you will recognize the format. It is my take on a very old, very well-known joke. Now is the time to bail out. Have a great day. Lorne Armstrong has gotten smart. What? No way. No, it's true. He finally realized that all he and his fellow TCAP alumni need to do at this stage in their lives is cash in on their notoriety. How to do so? By coming up with a Predator-themed stage performance and taking it on the road. By Lorne's calculations, even if they only charged $1 admission to the show, Saul's subscribers alone would earn the performers $20,000. The Cappening channel, $55,000. Bake Salmon another $5,000, and the list goes on. Patrick TCAP Ireland subscribers would bring in $700. Raptor Bacon over $3,000. And that's what I mean when I say that Lorne has gotten smart. He finally realized, even though the terms of his probation prohibit him from having an online presence, there is nothing keeping him from performing on stage. So, one day, Lorne sat down with a pot of weak coffee, a pen, and a pad of paper, and began working on the outline for what would grow to become his magnum opus. It took 6 months of focused, deliberate attention to the project, but he got it done. In the end, he had enlisted dozens of the original TCAP and Hansen vs. Predator characters to join him. They practiced day and night for weeks, with everyone pitching in and putting a piece of themselves into the final project. Although it was Lorne's brainchild, it was truly a group effort. And so, when Lorne was finally convinced that the performance had been honed to perfection, it was time to get the initial funding that they needed to take the act on the road. Following his vision, Lorne knew that they would need to line up venues across North and South America, Europe, parts of Asia, Australia, and so on. He wanted full-page ads taken out in all of the largest newspapers, because he still thought that was a thing. He needed radio spots, TV commercials, and even roadside billboards. You know those little ads on the back of your receipt that you get from the grocery store? He wanted the show advertised there as well. For this project to be successful, Lorne believed they needed to create a buzz. They would saturate the airwaves with teasers and bring overall awareness of who the performers were and the rich backstories that define them all. As TCAPists and Lornographers, we know these dipwads inside and out, and it brings us joy to see them caught doing the stupidest thing they could ever do, and then we revel in the content that uses their downfall for our amusement. But it is safe to assume that the majority of the people on this planet are not well versed in these predators, so Lorne was correct in seeing the need to get the word out to the masses. But how to do so? They needed funds badly. The project would be a cash cow, no question, but to get the juggernaut that was this stage show, that initial push that it needed, Lorne was going to need capital. One name came to mind. The one person Lorne envisioned must be a millionaire many times over by now. The one he would pitch the show to was Chris Hansen. After some searching online, Lorne was able to reach out to Hansen, who agreed to meet with Lorne. So on a chilly fall morning, Mama Gwen drove Lorne to Cornville International so Lorne could fly to New York, meet with Chris Hansen, and secure funding for the show. Touching down at LaGuardia, Lorne caught a cab into the heart of the city and arrived at the building where Hansen had his office. He took the elevator up to the 23rd floor, walked straight into Chris Hansen's office, and began his pitch. Well, thank you for meeting with me. This is the most important thing I've ever done in my life. I know your time is valuable, so let's get right into it. Imagine the theater is sold out. People have been anxious to see this for months thanks to the complete saturation of advertisement leading up to opening night. Once the house is quiet, as the curtain rises, we see a line of young ladies varying in ages, short to tall, thin to fat, all bent over a buffet table facing the audience. In walks Sebastian Rodriguez and his tag-along. Sebastian is nude from the waist down, sporting a raging boner. He steps up to the first girl and just goes right in dry, right? She in turn lets out a high-pitched squeal. Then he goes down the line, sticking it into each girl as he goes. It's just jab, squeal, jab, squeal all the way down, right? But here's the thing. Because they are different ages and sizes, they have varying pitches to their squeals. Have you ever seen someone playing wine glasses that have different levels of fluid in them? It's like that. So Sebastian starts jumping from girl to girl, and we begin to notice that he's playing these girls like an instrument. In fact, it's an old-timey circus tune, like a calliope, okay? Meanwhile, his buddy just stands there drinking a Monster energy drink because he's just a tag-along. Are you with me so far? Okay. So as this is going on, upstage, a platform rises up and we can see that Twink Toilet is strapped to a metal table, and there's this contraption that holds his mouth open. Meanwhile, Frag wheels out this arching bridge that he sets over Twink Toilet's face. Then we see a line of handsome young holy men enter from stage left. They line up on one side of this bridge contraption. Taking turns, each priest climbs to the apex of the arching bridge, lifts their vestments, does their business right into the mouth of a ravenous Twink Toilet below, then walks off stage. This just keeps going on and on. I mean, we are talking hundreds of young priests. Next, our attention is drawn to a tall platform in the far corner of the stage. This platform is like 60 feet above the stage. A spotlight illuminates the platform, and we can see that it's Travis Fowler up there, preparing to swing on a trapeze. But wait a minute, what's this? Why, it's Kevin Westerbeck up there with him. So Travis jumps from the platform, and as he swings from side to side, Westerbeck is performing amazing daredevil feats in his own right on a swing suspended from Fowler's enormous junk. All the while, a cockatoo is eating peanuts one after the other from Kevin's asshole. Okay, about this time, entering from the side of the stage, doing a moonwalk, is Walter Babst. He appears to be carrying a six-pack of Coke down at his waist, but we soon realize he only has 5 Cokes, and his own dick is stuck inside one of the plastic six-pack rings. He steps up to a stovetop that we have on stage, he busts a nut into some Bisquick, and right there starts whipping up some flapjacks. Are you with me so far? Now hang in there, we're just getting warmed up. In comes a bunch of guys busted in Long Beach, all on roller skates, all in a train, fucking one another in the ass, pumping in and out to the rhythm of the circus music. In, out, in, out, in, out. There's Corey Edgar, Paul Clemente, Michael Worker, each one fucking the guy in front of them as they snake around the stage on roller skates, all except for Michael Seibert, who's at the front of the train. Now, an hour before the curtain, we have him gorge himself on Fruit Loops cereal. About 10 minutes after the sodomy skate train first comes on stage, he starts to get motion sickness and begins to vomit up all the undigested Fruit Loops, okay? He basically gives himself a glorious Cosby sweater. You see what we did there? A little Cosby tribute. Now, most people won't catch that the first time around. That's what I'm saying. The comedy is layered. Anyways, as all of this is happening, Dale Harvey from Perverted Justice is riding around on one of those razor scooters. Only instead of a handlebar, it's got this banister on the front. So as she's kicking her way around the stage, she's also kicking the banister. It's like push, kick, push, kick, push, kick. It's super bloody and looks incredibly painful. Behind Dell is a trailer attached to the scooter. Now upon it is Joe Wunderler having his way with a German Shepherd, and beside them on the trailer, a Persian licks whipped cream from Marvin Lackhand's turgid member. All the while, Tennis Boy is slowly pulling anal beads from the backside of Yazan Asfor. Now only these are not ordinary anal beads, they're tennis balls. You see what we did there? Layers. Right then, out rolls Dustin McFetridge in his PT Cruiser, only it may as well be called a PT Barnum because lo and behold, he drives to center stage, stops the car, and out climbs a whole slew of clowns. There's Dustin, Donald Morrison, John Adam Daniels, John Kennelly, Eric Thornton, Keith Williams, and Jerry Wayne Kosis. Together, they create a fleshy, writhing circle jerk that undulates slowly around the stage. Then the trunk pops open, and a quartet of whirling dervishes appear, made up of Davut Askan, Ablam Bashkaran, Satinder Thind, and Inderjeet Singh. They are each twirling non-stop and juggling massive black dildos. Death-defying does not even begin to describe what you are seeing. This entire time, Clifford Wallach can be seen weaving his way in and out of the performers with his kid in tow and a line of police chasing him. And this is where we reach the climax of the show, no pun intended. I come walking out in an Astolfo-inspired schoolgirl number with the pleated peach skirt and the white top. You know what I'm talking about. I lay down on a circular platform and Frag shackles my limbs so I'm laying there like the Vitruvian Man. And the whole platform starts to rotate slowly. Right then, out walk the rest of the Predators. They form a tight circle around me, they whip out their junk, and they all start jerking off. What I forgot to mention is that the entire week leading up to the show, I have been eating nothing but Arby's and greasy chitlins. So to say that my stool is loose is an understatement. Just as the Predators are about to start jizzing on me, I release the most amazing chili rainbow that you could ever imagine. So now there's poop and... So now there's poop and jizz and piss just coating everything and everyone on stage. As the music builds to a fevered pitch, in comes Casey Morrow, spinning in from stage left like a ballerina in a Swan Lake performance. She leaps into the air and lands squarely on Richard Brielt's upraised fist, sinks to the elbow, and that's the show. Well, what do you think? Sitting back, Chris Hansen just shook his head and said, I don't know. Isn't Twink Toilet dead?